The United Kingdom faces a pivotal moment in its history. The upcoming elections present a critical juncture. The choice between Labour and Conservative governments will shape the nation's trajectory. Both parties, steeped in history and driven by distinct ideologies, offer contrasting visions. These visions encompass economic policy, social welfare, and the UK's role on the world stage. Understanding the potential ramifications of each party's approach is paramount. Citizens must engage in informed decision-making. By analysing their core principles, policies and potential consequences, we aim to provide clarity. The stakes are high, with the very fabric of British society hanging in the balance. The decisions made in the upcoming elections will resonate for generations to come. The Labour Party emerged from the trade union movement of the late 19th century. It sought to give a political voice to the working class. Early Labour advocates fought for fundamental rights. These included fair wages, reasonable working hours, and safe working conditions. The party's commitment to social justice resonated with millions. This led to its growth into a major political force in the 20th century. The aftermath of World War II saw Labour come to power with a sweeping mandate. Clement Attlee's government laid the foundations of the modern welfare state. The National Health Service, a cornerstone of this welfare state, provided universal health care. Labour also expanded access to education and social security. These transformative policies had a profound impact on British society. At the heart of the Labour Party lies a deep-seated commitment to social justice and equality. This commitment is rooted in the belief that everyone deserves a fair chance in life, regardless of their background. Labour seeks to create a society where opportunities abound, not just for the privileged few, but for all. To achieve this vision, Labour advocates for a strong social safety net. This includes robust public services such as healthcare, education, and social security. Labour believes that investing in people is not just morally right, but also economically sound. Furthermore, Labour champions workers' rights and fair pay. The party supports strong unions and collective bargaining. Labour believes that a living wage and decent working conditions are essential for a just and equitable society. Labour's emphasis on social justice extends to issues of equality and diversity. Labour's track record in government is a mixed bag of notable successes and significant challenges. The party can point to periods of sustained economic growth, job creation, and improved living standards. Labour's introduction of the minimum wage had a tangible impact on the lives of low-wage workers. Labour's investment in public services, particularly the NHS, has been widely lauded. However, Labour has faced criticism for its handling of certain economic issues, including nationalisation policies and accusations of overspending. The party has faced challenges in balancing the needs of workers with the demands of businesses and the broader economy. Labour's vision: navigating the future. Looking ahead, Labour faces the daunting task of adapting its message to a rapidly changing world. Globalisation, technological advancements and climate change present both challenges and opportunities. Labour must articulate a clear vision for the future that resonates with the electorate. One of the key challenges for Labour is to address the concerns of those who feel left behind by globalisation. The decline of manufacturing jobs and the rise of automation have created anxieties among working-class communities. Labour must find ways to create new opportunities and provide support for workers in transition. Furthermore, Labour needs to articulate a compelling economic vision that balances growth with social justice. The party's pledge to achieve net zero emissions by 2050 will require significant investment in renewable energy and sustainable transport. The Conservative Party, a legacy of tradition and change. The Conservative Party, with roots stretching back centuries, represents a blend of tradition and adaptation. Born from the Tories of the 18th century, the party has consistently advocated for limited government, free markets, and a strong national defence. From Winston Churchill's wartime leadership to Margaret Thatcher's free market reforms, Conservatives have left an indelible mark on British society. Thatcher's era saw a significant shift in the party's ideology, emphasizing privatization and deregulation. These policies revitalized the British economy but also drew criticism for exacerbating social inequalities. The Conservative Party's ability to reinvent itself while adhering to its core principles has been key to its enduring presence. Despite its historical successes, the Conservative Party has faced internal divisions and external challenges. Pillars of conservatism: fiscal prudence and individual liberty. At the heart of conservative ideology lie two fundamental pillars: fiscal prudence and individual liberty. Conservatives believe in limited government intervention in the economy, advocating for lower taxes, deregulation and free trade. They argue that these policies foster economic growth, create jobs and ultimately benefit everyone. Individual liberty, for conservatives, means empowering individuals to make their own choices and take responsibility for their own lives. They believe in personal responsibility, hard work and self-reliance. While conservatives recognize the need for a social safety net, they favor a more limited role for the state in providing welfare and social services. Critics argue that conservative policies can exacerbate inequality and undermine the social safety net. Assessing the Conservative record, triumphs and controversies. The Conservative Party's record in government is marked by both significant achievements and contentious policies. On the economic front, Conservatives often point to periods of economic growth and job creation during their tenure. They argue that their policies of fiscal responsibility, lower taxes and deregulation have created a more favorable environment for businesses to thrive. However, Conservative governments have faced criticism for their handling of social issues, including austerity measures and their impact on public services. Critics argue that Conservative policies have exacerbated inequality, disproportionately benefiting the wealthy while leaving behind the most vulnerable. The Conservative Party's stance on immigration has also been a source of significant debate. Charting a course: Conservatives in a shifting landscape. As the Conservative Party looks to the future, it faces a myriad of challenges and opportunities. The political landscape is undergoing significant transformation, with traditional party allegiances weakening and new issues demanding attention. One of the key challenges for Conservatives is to appeal to a broader electorate, particularly younger voters concerned about climate change and social justice. The party must articulate a vision for the future that resonates with these voters, while remaining true to its core principles. The party must find ways to create a more level playing field and ensure that everyone has a fair chance to succeed. The party's ability to address the concerns of a diverse electorate while remaining true to its core principles will determine its success. The economic battleground: Labour versus Conservative. The economy stands as a perennial battleground in British politics, with Labour and the Conservatives offering starkly different approaches. Labour, traditionally aligned with trade unions and the working class, advocates for a more interventionist role for the state in managing the economy. They argue that government intervention is necessary to curb inequality, protect workers' rights and ensure a fairer distribution of wealth. Conservatives, on the other hand, champion free markets and limited government intervention. They believe that lower taxes, deregulation, and a business-friendly environment are essential for economic growth and job creation. These contrasting economic philosophies translate into distinct policy prescriptions. Labour typically favours higher taxes on corporations and high-income earners to fund social programmes and public services. Conservatives advocate for tax cuts as a means to stimulate economic activity and generally oppose excessive regulations. The debate between these two economic visions often centres on the role of government and the balance between economic efficiency and social equity. The welfare state: a tale of two visions. The welfare state, a cornerstone of British society, represents another key area of divergence between Labour and the Conservatives. Labour views the welfare state as a fundamental pillar of a fair and compassionate society. They believe that the government has a moral obligation to provide a safety net for its citizens, ensuring access to essential services like healthcare, education, and social security. Conservatives, while acknowledging the need for a social safety net, tend to adopt a more limited view of the welfare state. They argue for a more targeted approach to welfare, focusing on those most in need and encouraging personal responsibility and self-reliance. Labour might advocate for increased funding for the NHS and expanded social care programmes. Conservatives may prioritise measures aimed at reducing welfare dependency, such as stricter eligibility requirements for benefits. The debate over the welfare state often revolves around the balance between individual responsibility and collective solidarity. Section 3. Education and Opportunity: Diverging Paths. Education, often hailed as the great equalizer, represents another crucial arena where Labour and Conservative visions diverge. Labour emphasises social mobility and equal opportunities, believing education should be accessible to all. They argue that investing in education creates a more skilled and productive workforce. Conservatives adopt a more market-oriented approach. They support school choice and charter schools, arguing competition drives up standards. They also emphasize vocational training and apprenticeships to address skills gaps. These differing approaches reflect contrasting views on the role of government and opportunity. Labour believes the government should provide high-quality education for all. They argue a well-funded public education system ensures everyone has a chance to succeed. Conservatives express concerns about government bureaucracy and inefficiency. This translates into debates over tuition fees, school funding, and curriculum content. Section 4. On the world stage, contrasting approaches to global affairs. Labour and Conservative parties often diverge in their approaches to foreign policy and international relations. Labour favours internationalism and multilateralism, working through organisations like the United Nations. Conservatives prioritise national sovereignty and a strong defence, often sceptical of international institutions. These approaches differ on issues like defence spending, trade and humanitarian intervention. Labour might reduce defence spending, focusing on domestic priorities and fair trade. Conservatives may increase defence spending for national security and favour free trade for economic growth. The debate often revolves around balancing national interest with global cooperation. Section 1. Shaping Britain's Tomorrow: A Choice of Futures. As the United Kingdom stands at this pivotal crossroads, the choice between Labour and Conservative governments carries profound implications for the nation's future. Each party, steeped in its own history and driven by distinct ideologies, offers a contrasting vision for British society. Labour, with its deep-rooted commitment to social justice and equality, envisions a future where the state plays an active role in mitigating inequality, protecting workers' rights, and providing a robust social safety net. Conservatives, on the other hand, champion the principles of individual liberty, fiscal prudence, and free markets, advocating for a smaller state and greater personal responsibility. They believe that lower taxes, deregulation, and a business-friendly environment are essential for unleashing economic growth and creating opportunities for all. The choice between these two visions is not merely an academic exercise, but a decision with tangible consequences for the lives of everyday Britons. The decision facing British voters is not simply about which party aligns best with their personal values, but also about which party is best equipped to navigate the complex challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. Globalization, technological advancements, climate change, and shifting geopolitical landscapes all demand innovative solutions and adaptive leadership. Ultimately, the responsibility lies with the British people to engage in informed debate, weigh the potential consequences of each party's platform, and cast their votes in a manner that reflects their aspirations for the future of their nation. The decisions made in the upcoming elections will resonate for generations to come, shaping not only the economic and social fabric of British society, but also the UK's place in the world.